Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear from our host, Andy Albright.
And what I want to do, I really want to train 1,000 people at one time, but if I can get you, Jan, on this, and Davies, maybe one more person pays attention to this, we'll get some explosive growth in our recruiting. So let's talk about building this business, and then we'll get into text dialing and recruiting, which is my subject. But it works like this. You learn how to sell. That's your job. 6 figures, not even 40 hours a week. If you're not good, like if you don't have the people skills, if you have not been in sales before, it might take you 40 hours. It might take you more than 40 hours to create a 6-figure income. Then what you want to do is start building franchises or hire a person, recruit a person, get them trained to sell, and then get them building their organization. So it's sell, recruit, and build. Okay? And I hear people go, I don't want to recruit. I go, I don't want to sell, recruit, build. I don't want to stop eating. I don't want to stop drinking. So if what we're going to talk about is what we want to do and don't want to do, that's a whole different subject. What I was trying to do is talk about how you can get wealthy, how you can get a jet, how you can pay off your house, how you can not be living day to day, and how you can get free. And the way you do that is not only you learn how to sell, but you show other people how to do it and show them how to build. So this is not going to be focused a lot on selling, although recruiting is selling. We're not talking about selling insurance. Now, it's hard to get away from me today's time without me talking about these estate planning and seminars and these Spanish IULs and be your own banker, and all that stuff is ridiculous. And I'm 100% for final expense, mortgage protection, all that stuff. I absolutely love it, and we're killing it with it, and we need to continue it. But this new thing with the seminars is just blowing my mind, and we can continue to get unbelievable results. I did want to give you this heads up. Best month ever, $12.5 million issue paid annuities last month. Woo-hoo! You start moving $12.5 million a month. What is that? Let's do the math on that. What kind of a year is that? 12,500,000
about 150
times
million.
12, 150 million. 150 million a year run rate right now. I think we can go to $250 million. I think we can go to $1 billion in annuities. The money's out there and people are screaming for it. They're responding to this direct mail and telemarketing. They're responding like crazy. I'll remind you, Davies and Jan, you've heard me say this before, and anybody else that is paying attention, I didn't create this lifestyle. I didn't create the wealth. I didn't create the freedom by learning how to sell mortgage protection. I created it by getting other people to sell mortgage protection, and I recruited them, and then I got them to get other people doing mortgage protection. That's what I did. So, yes, I knew how to do it, no problem. Yes, I made 6 figures. But 6 figures a month, $200,000 a month, $300,000 a month, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, you're going to have to get other people to do it. So we're going to talk about how to do that. So, Jan, I'll ask you first, because I'll be disappointed if Davies don't know the answer pretty quick. I think he does know it. But Jan, do you know, like if you hire a person, if you hire this little bobblehead right here, this person right here, this little bobbling head, first of all, when is he most excited about the business, Jan?
When you first talk to him about it.
When you first talk to him about it, he's most excited. How about when he gets his first $10,000 check? You think he's more excited then?
Absolutely.
I don't. How about when he gets his first override? You think he's more excited then?
Yeah.
I don't. My studying, Jan, over 24 years in insurance and 30 years, is people are never more excited than day one. That's my evaluation. If you start watching what happens to your people, Jan, tell me how you can get them to listen, do what you want ever again after the first day or first week. I struggle with that. Like once they get started, matter of fact, Jan, when I see people getting a $10,000 in a month, what I see them is less coachable, less learning, less understanding, less listening to conference calls, harder to get to conventions because it seems like they know everything then. That's been my experience. Davies, you're shaking your head. Has that been your experience too?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's when they are brand new and they're first seeing it, it's like the first time that you walk into Disney World and you've never seen it before. If you go to Disney World every day, even Disney World starts to be like, I've seen that. You know, the mouse, when he takes his mouse hat off, he goes and smokes behind the fence. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it's brand new, they're the most excited, most pliable, most moldable. They'll do the craziest things. It's the brand new person that'll drive through the night last minute to come to family reunion. So yeah, 100% I'm with you.
Well, let's see what you find out, Jan, in a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now. Or you could be sitting there going like, yeah, you're right. I'm just telling you, when you hire somebody, Molly, Shy, Keon, how you doing, brother? When you hire somebody, like Keon has been with us a week and a half, his excitement level is dwindling. Okay? Now, hey, Andy Albright. Twan?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Twan, Twan? Good to meet you. So Twan will never be more excited. He'll like do stuff now that later on it's hard to explain to them. And here's the other thing. If you get them started in the beginning, Jan, or anybody else, you get people started in the beginning, how they start is kind of how it's going to end up. Now, there are exceptions to every rule and there's generalities, but if you will work on the rules I give you, it'll make life so much easier. Okay. All right. So here's the rule. When are people first the most excited they're ever going to be in a business? And the rule is now, like as fast as possible, as soon as they get started. So that's the reason. Molly, will you hand me one of those 8 Steps books? It should be right behind you. Thank you so much. That's the reason I talk about the 8 steps a lot in the beginning, because if I can get them to commit, Jan, in the beginning, later on, 2 weeks down or 3 weeks in, I start talking to them about it and they go, well, I'm already selling, so I'm good. Or I think I already got this, I'm good. Versus if you get them, here's a thing for kids. Who's got new kids? You got new kids. Just one. 3 months old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So watch this. If your kid does good in something, recognize the work, recognize the effort. If you recognize that they're super skilled and they're just super talented, why would they work harder anymore? So think about good football coaches that you liked and coaches that you don't remember. School teachers that you like, school teachers you don't remember. What I remember from being a kid is the coaches that screamed at me about work and bragged on my work habits. Not that I was a super great person, not that I was brilliant to start with. So you think about like what Dave Dorn always talks about. This is his body before, this is his body after he's been here for 4 years. Not he was a genius before and he's a genius now, but his work habit, how he changed. You with me? So when a kid does good on class, hey, you did good. You studied a bunch of hours. Good job for the work. to accomplish it. So now their desire is going to fight for the work. So Jan, if we talk about the 8 steps and we get them doing the 8 steps, then we recognize how the work got them to the right place. So now it can be copied by the downline. But if they were super talented when they came in, and then this person doesn't see themselves as super talented, they don't see themselves ever getting there. Does this make sense? So talking about the work, talking about the effort, not about the skills. Don't get me wrong, the skills improve dramatically when the work gets there. So you come to a university, you come to an organization like us, and we say, look, glad you come in tall. I'm glad you come in articulate. I'm glad you already graduated Elon University. AP, congrats. Now, how'd you get there? Work. So how do you succeed here? Work. And we don't pick. Can you imagine telling a football coach or a basketball coach, he played Elon basketball, can you imagine him saying, like, I like all the exercises, coach, but the thing where we run around the gym, that's a no-go. Or what do you call them? Suicides. Suicides is a no-go. I don't mind push-ups. I don't mind up-downs. And I certainly don't mind practice. But this running from line to line, I don't know if I go along with that one. See, what I'm going to do, coach, is I'm going to work on what I'm good at, which is a jump shot. What I'm not going to work on, coach, is the defense. So when a kid comes in the beginning, we don't say, what skill sets you got? Because that's what we're going to focus on. We bring them in and we say, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell, we're going to recruit, we're going to build. That's what we're going to do. You want to be a champion? That's what we're going to do. Yeah, I'm in. So now we got a commitment to it versus if we come in acting like all they got to do is sell insurance. And also, I am very smooth about it, like, and the coaches are too. I'll say things like, let me ask you this, Jan. How'd you like to have hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in and you travel all around the world and not have to be there? Can you argue with that, Jan?
No, I have no arguments to that.
But if I said, Jan, how'd you like to hire a bunch of numbskulls that don't do what they say they're going to do and no-show you and lie to you and leave you dead? How's that sound?
Not good.
Not good. That's what people say. You want to build a team? Hell no, I want to build a team. Deal with people. Deal with people, liars, cheats, and thieves. Nuh-uh. I'm not doing that. You want to have residual income coming in? Not work? Yeah, I want to have that. You see the difference in the questions? So if we're going to do this, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to build a team. Tracking? Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so most excited day one. Now, you got a person who's fired up out of their mind, okay? But they're not getting through class fast enough. They're not selling yet. They ain't bought a ticket to family reunion. They're not recruiting, but they're fired up out of their mind. I've had people tell me, they're like, this guy will do anything I say. Well, tell him to hire some people. Well, you don't understand his situation. I go, you're right, I don't understand his situation because you told me he'd do whatever we say. This guy's not selling. I thought you said he was fired up. He is fired up. He's not selling. Well, what is he doing? He's fired up. He ain't doing nothing. He's just excited. He's just like a bean, just excited. All right, now, what is the best way to get this guy motivated? What do you think, Jan? What's the best way to get him motivated? When I say best, you know, like when I say, if I ever say something like that, I feel the best I ever felt right now. I put a qualification on it because I have felt better. So what is, there's no qualification here. What is the best way to get a person motivated and excited?
I would say helping them do it.
Helping them do it. All right.
Get them moving.
I was talking to some young people yesterday and said, here's what we have found. We have found that if you find what they want and that help them achieve what they want, what kind of goals in their life? I say, that's good. You like that, Jan?
Yeah.
You like that, Davies?
I mean, I think the best way to get them motivated is get somebody underneath them moving.
That is the best way in the world. You can threaten to kill their children, threaten to kill their mama, threaten to kill them. You can promise them gold. You can promise them riches. You can find out. I like single mamas when they say, I just want my child to have it better than I had it. I love that one. You with me? I'm like, so exactly what would that require? And they go, well, I didn't have a daddy. I go, well, has yours got a daddy? Yeah, okay, mission accomplished. They already got it better than you had it. No, I mean financially. Well, how did you have it? Well, we was hungry. Is your kid hungry? No. Well, then there you go. Mission solved. My problem is, where are we going to go from there? Once the kid has it better than you've had it, what do we do then? Right? How, do you want to have a little bit better than you had it as a kid, or a lot better than you had it as a kid? A lot. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, if a person has a goal and the goal's easy to achieve, then why are they going to work hard? So find a goal that's nonstop and they're going to go for, and then help them get it. So we call it GS3. It's goal set, go serve, and get them started. Goal set, go serve, and get them started. I've done a 2-hour talk about GS3s. That's a good way. But let me tell you something. You get a person, Jan, give me a couple of names. I'm coming up to New Jersey Tuesday.
Right.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Where
I
are
am
we
excited.
coming out? The West, where was it? The Weston?
In Edison.
The Weston in Edison. Is that right?
I think it was a Sheraton in Edison.
It's the Sheridan. Okay, let's get it right. So we're going to be at the Sheridan in Edison, and we're going to be there at noon, and we're going to do what I'm talking about. I might do it here in a few minutes. So I get tore up about it. As a matter of fact, do we find out, will YouTube shut us down if I live dial? Do they have to catch us? I mean, what do they got? Eyes looking at us and they knock us out? They'll shut us down for that? We might take a risk. All right. I don't know. YouTube's crazy. Okay, so we're going to do it live in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me a name of one of your best people you got, Jan.
Troy Wills.
He's new. So Troy is fired up out of his mind.
Yes.
So I got a guy right here, Keon's fired up out of his mind. Keon will never be more excited than he is now, and every day goes by, he's less excited. So you can be an exception, but you have to decide. But if you let people alone, then their excitement deteriorates. There's this thing in engineering they teach us at NC State. If that sets there alone, it'll deteriorate back to dust. This will go back to dust. It won't work after a while. The only way you keep this from going back to dust and keep this from deteriorating is you have a higher power work on it. So if I keep it cleaned up, if the keyboard goes wrong, I fix it. You know what I mean? I keep working on it and maintain it. That's the only way to maintain a human being or an innate object. It has to be maintained. If it's not, it deteriorates. It's called entropy. It's just an engineering law. That's, things just, they go back to where they were, left unattended. So you can attend to your own attitude because you rule over your attitude. So if you stay excited, that's a choice. But unchoice means deterioration. It's a decision. If you decide not to work on yourself. So that the 8 steps of success is working on yourself for audios, books, and association. Okay? So if you leave your body unattended, it'll deteriorate. That's why you have to work. How many days are you working out of? Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Take 2 days off. Let's do this right here. See if they can hear you coming in. Say it again. How often do you work?
Monday through Friday.
Can y'all hear him? Mm-hmm. I know you can't see him. Monday through Friday. And then, but you follow what I'm saying? It's like a higher power, you works on your body, improves it. Mm-hmm. If you have your brains plus a physical fitness coach or strength coach, who's our strength coach?
Coach Thunder.
Coach Thunder. So Coach Thunder's brains and his emotion screaming at you, your brains and your emotion willing to work through it, you improve your body. Unattended goes down. Mm-hmm. left to your own devices doesn't grow as much as you have Coach Thunder and a nutritionist. So the more brain power and the more bite power, you grow more. Okay, so I get 2 people under him fired up out of their mind. Or another way to put it is, let's say you're the starting cornerback and a 4-star comes in behind you. That'll motivate you. You with me? Because you've got to keep your position, right? You're a sophomore, you see kids hit the transfer portal. That's because they saw the train coming. They saw the train coming, so they hit the transfer portal. It's not always like it looks greener over there. It just looks scary over here because the guy's coming in to replace me. So that's what we call depth. So we get one person under you. Let me tell you, get more excited. It's got 2 transfers, 4As coming in the cornerback. Not, you the cornerback, you bring in 2 4As right behind you, and they're excited out their mind. You're kind of bitching about working out, and they're damn in there every day losing their mind. Or maybe you did that to somebody. Somebody was in here, and you came in, and then you outworked them. You took their position. Maybe they transferred out. Maybe they went on a bench. I don't know. But nothing gets somebody more excited than somebody underneath them. Challenging. Now, here's the reason, too. In this, it's doubly motivational because they come along, you making money off of them. So this is you making money. So when they make a sale, you get a deposit in your checking account. Now, I'd say that's the second most exciting time. Now, when people get their first paycheck, they think they're the most excited they've ever been. They think. But what they don't realize is they were more excited day one. Now, when they get an override check, they think that is the most excited they'll ever be. And that is actually number 2. So the number 1 is when they get in. Number 2 is when they get an override, and number 3 is when they get a sale. Okay, I'll give you. Here's a clear example. What's your name again? Twan. So let's say you hired AP, and you get tired of selling, or your feet get hurt, your back's killing you. You get shot at or somebody threatens you, you're like, I ain't going to sell no more. Well, AP's selling. Do you want to quit getting those overrides? In other words, he's selling, you getting a percentage. I can't think of any reason. You get tired, get sick, get scared, get mad, get mean, get hateful, not like me, not like the company. You still want that money coming in, that override. That's why I say it's the most exciting, because they won't quit no matter what. They don't want to. Now, the other thing is, this guy can pass them and make more money than they can, and they ain't making no money unless they build a business. Because if you don't build a business, you just hire one person, you lose it. So that's what we were talking about. You got to build, you got to keep building so it keeps coming in. So you got excitement for money coming in and fear of loss. Mm-hmm. So getting somebody excited under somebody fires them up. And I got a bunch of athletes in front of me. I keep failing to write down their names. What did he say his name was, AP? That's right. Thanks. Now I got it in AP. Yeah. All right. So if you think about it, the best coaches have the best psychological stuff. As far as like, they know your parents, they know your girlfriend, they know your buddies, they know you want to play in the NFL, they know you don't want to go back to wherever you were. They get all the psychology involved. And day one, you do anything they say. You put on that jersey, you do anything they say. Day one. So if they can get you in the habit day one, or we can tell you the expectations day one, and you agree to the expectations, you're more likely to do them day two. So all these people that were getting started brand new, think about the same concept. Hey, welcome to the team. We'll have a blast. We're going to eat good, party, go to all the parties and the pepper. No, we're getting ready to win. We're getting ready to go to work. So it's a combination of that excitement, but we're getting ready to go to work. And that's why we get into the 8 steps. And then that's why we get into text dialing immediately. Davies, I know I ain't told you nothing you ain't heard before, but I give you some reminders.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Jan, questions, comments, concerns, worries, staggering information?
It's great information. It's getting them to. I'd like to see how you get people to give you the numbers.
Well, I know how to do it. So let me kind of tell you. People do things in emotional situations, in emotional environments, positive environments and emotional environments. And people usually don't make big decisions in vacuums. They don't usually make big decisions when they're sitting around in a dull place. It's when they're in an exciting place. So day one, person comes in, you're high-fiving them, let's get going. What would be better is if you had 3 people bouncing off the walls. Because here's what happens. With 3 people, one is more excited than the third, and the third is the least excited, and the one in the middle is medium. People go, what if they're all 3 out, boring, not excited? Well, one of them's more excited than the others, even though he's boring and not excited, and one of them is more depressed and less excited. Guess which one we're trying to work with the most? So it's a judgment. So if you get 3 tight ends lined up, which one you going to get? The best one, based on what you think. Your decision. You're the coach. You get to pick. So you get to decide who to pick with. Now, what I don't like right now is trying to create that environment in here. They're over here. I'm over here. I hate that. Okay? Y'all are on Zoom. I hate that. Versus yesterday, we're sitting around in a circle, and everybody was jumping off out of their skin. You know, they were just going excited. So let me tell you what we did. I'll do it right here. They're telling me that we'll get shut down if I do it live. We've done it before. Maybe it wasn't on YouTube. What do you think, Clay? You don't know? All right. So let me tell you, we're going to get into it. Twan, let's see, give Twan a mic and let's talk to him. Matter of fact, come over here, Twan. This will help a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get set up. Yeah, you good. All right, tell me how you know Keon or Shy?
I know both of them.
And both of them.
Yes,
who invited you here?
Keon.
Keon.
Yes, sir.
All right, how you know him?
So I know Keon. We go way back from Charlotte. We used to play 7-on-7 together. He went to Butler High School. We first met at NC Elite. NC Elite was a 7-on-7 football program.
What does 7-on-7 mean?
7-on-7, so you got 7 on offense, 7 on defense. So, in a real life football game, you got the down O lineman and the down D line. So you take those out.
Okay. So did you end up playing ball?
Yes, sir.
Football, where'd you play?
North Carolina Central.
North Carolina Central. We talked briefly yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. I'm glad you made it. And have you graduated?
Yes, sir.
What's your degree?
Business administration, entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship at North Carolina Central. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. So they show you something. I'm the entrepreneur school at NC State. Right? You saw that, the garage? No? They
No,
showed
sir.
you that? Yeah. Well, they'll send it to you. So that's just a financial commitment.
Okay.
And I want to give a lot back to my alma mater. And I found something I like, which is entrepreneurship. And all those young people that come into the entrepreneur school get to attend that. So don't worry about that. But that's just so you know, me and you relate on that. Matter of fact, I wanted to give them a check, but they wouldn't take it until they found something I was interested in. That's good. That's good money making skill too, because I wanted to give them $1 million. But to name the entrepreneur school, it was $5 million. See, once they found something I wanted, they figure out how to motivate me.
Absolutely.
All right. So, and you're working.
Spanky Productions is my production company.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you're in Charlotte now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm looking to
good.
move to Durham though.
Okay, good. Bring it on. All right. And so we talked briefly, and I told you what we're doing as far as like, you see, how about this for what I told you on the phone? Remember I told you what I do is coach?
Yes, sir.
So I was just coaching on how to raise children. I'm coaching on how to stay excited, use your own attitude, how to get a strength coach.
Yes, sir.
You see, would you agree with what I'm?
Lifestyle empowerment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying this is how you improve your power, your lifestyle, your happiness, your success, everything.
Yes, sir.
But the more I coach him to do that, the more I make money
Absolutely.
without having to say, write me a check.
True.
Because if I get him making $10,000 a month and I'm making $1,000 a month, that's not bad coaching for $1,000 a month to coach a guy. Huh?
Absolutely.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Then I get him to get you doing 10 grand. So now I'm 20 grand. Now I'm 10%. I'm making 2,000 a month to coach you both, and I coach you at the same time. It ain't like it's all one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because I'm coaching 1,000 people right
Absolutely.
now. So that I think people that like coaching, or it's people that want to be a football coach, or they want to be a basketball coach, or they want to be a golf coach, or they just want to be a lifestyle coach, I always look at them and go, why would you charge somebody $100 an hour or $200 an hour when you could coach them for free? I coach you for free. I don't charge that. Have I charged you anything? I'm not charging you anything, shot. But yet I'm saying, here's what you do, here's what you do, here's what you do. Tracking?
Yes,
okay, Jan, this is how I do it. So, like, if you can get people, if you get people in that meeting tomorrow when I'm there, or not tomorrow, Tuesday, they're going to be fired up out of their mind. Because I'm going to be doing stuff like this. I'm going to be like, here's how we do it. See, I'm hitting his arm like, here's how we do it. And I'm bringing the energy going, here's how we do it. All right. So are you big on, would you like to have money coming in without having to be at work?
Absolutely. I've been dreaming of that since I was a little kid. I just been misguided all my life.
Yeah.
You've been in a motorcycle sport, riding a tricycle. All right. Here's the other thing. Jan, it does help when they say that. Like if they say, well, growing up, I was comfortable and I just want to be comfortable. And I don't know. Do you have to talk to people? Oh, Lord have mercy. So finding a person that's susceptible to the idea, energetic, excited, right? So, and by the way, that's all ages. It's not just youngins. Now, I want to go with youngins more. We can talk about why, but mainly because they can learn something new quick. And if I say text somebody something, they don't go like, what? If I say text them, they're texting. So here's what we would do. We might not get it done now, but I want you to send a text that says something. Let me see what I did. I'll do this to Jan Miller. But you guys pull up some of those texts that I sent. Hey Jan, Andy Albright here. Have you got a minute to talk business? Okay. So what I would have you do, Jan, is copy this and send it to somebody that you've not talked to about this business. Here's another one you could send. Hey, Tom, I'm up here in Burlington, North Carolina, doing some business with a guy, and I would like to ask you a couple questions if you got a minute. Hey, Steve, I know you hate your job. I got an opportunity. If you're interested, let's chat. These are different texts that you could send your friends. You got one from Keon. You got your phone?
I just turned it off.
Okay, that's all right. You got one where you sent him? Just, you can leave yours off for now. But what did you say? So what you're doing is you're taking what I'm saying, but what you're comfortable with your friend.
Okay.
Long time no see, Tim. Like to chat business with you for a minute if you got a second. The point is, I've got something right now. Are you available to talk?
You want to hear my message?
Yeah. What did you say to him?
I said, what's up, bro? I got a business opportunity for you. You open to hearing about it, let me know. You can make a ton of money doing this, my boy.
You know what's crazy?
But hold on.
The crazy part about it is he sent me the text message, and I didn't text him back and say, what is it? I called him right off rip. He motivated me. He made me excited, and I rung his line.
So he didn't even say you want to talk, just boom, and he calls him. Well, I saw him get up because I was, working different people. He got up, took the call, and went outside and talked to you, and then come back in and said, I got him on the line, I think, or something like that.
And the only reason I reacted the way I reacted is because I trusted.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. We're running ads, and I'm gonna get Clay. I'm okay with running advertisements. I'll get Clay to talk about those in a second. What happens, it's a pool. If you run an ad, there's a pool of people that are going to respond. And it's people that don't have a job, don't have a friend selling them on a project. Okay, that's the group of people that are responding. But if I tell Keon, if I say, hey, text somebody that's got some sense, that's got a job, that's doing okay, that's got some energy, that text right there. So the pool that he's texting is all those type people. So let's say he knows 300 people, and let's say 100 of them are those uncles and cousins that nobody's proud of. Y'all got them? I got them. We're not going to text them. But when you run an ad, those 100 people that we're not texting are in the pool. So they might answer the ad. But if you call your friends or text your friends, you automatically have eliminated the worst ones, the ones that we just don't like. It's the likable people in our network that we're texting. So what happens is you're sorting with a higher quality of apple, a higher quality oranges. Don't get me wrong. Even though we're going through a higher quality group, one of them's going to be crazy more excited than the other one. And so as you do 12, one of them's this excited, one of them's this excited. Not so much out the roof. Versus if we go from the pool of advertisements and we get 12 people, one's more excited than the other one for sure. But when you overlap this, the people that you got from the advertisements, it's just hard to compare the group of people from somebody actually texting their network because you already sorted them. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
So, and your text was the one what you sent to him is not any of the ones I suggested, but you decided you thought he would respond to it and you gave it a shot. Okay? So the question is, have you got anybody else interested yet?
No, sir, because I actually wanted to come today for myself and see. Be honest with you, I did a lot of research on you last night.
And you still came.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, because my mom always told me, don't be scared, but just be wise. Use wisdom,
Don't be scared, but be wise.
We talked on the phone yesterday, and I contacted Keon again. I'm like, bro, is there a LinkedIn? Is there a Instagram? Is there, so he sent me everything.
So did you just light him up and send him?
I explained it to him, give him like a brief explanation, like what it was. And he was like, all right, I'm open to come to listen. I was like, yeah, just come listen, come check it out, and talk, and see, meet people.
Yeah. Okay. Questions so far, Jan? Comments, Davies?
I love what you're saying because it's one of those things that you see people fight it and they just want to run a bunch of ads and then they come back talking about you won't believe the kind of people that are, and it's just like we go for the easiest, and the easiest is the ones that have that speed of trust. My favorite person to find is someone that's too busy working to be looking and probably never would have answered an insurance ad. That's like my prime person, and you get that through the text styling.
So,
and that being said, I answered a newspaper ad. So
he answered a newspaper ad.
It was back in the 1900s. Back in the 1900s.
He's the only person that I've ever hired that did it. Everybody else, I hire them and they don't do it, but then this guy does, or this guy don't do it and this guy does it, or this guy don't do it and then this guy does it. He's the only person that answered the ad and I said, most of the time they're not successful. He said, I'm going to be successful. I said, okay. So he just hired. Tell him about your number one producer right now, and how you recruited him.
So the number one producer in my whole hierarchy, and he's number one by a lot, is Adam Burge. And he came to me through a buddy that is not in the business, but was like he knew a guy that was needing something to do. He was coming out of what he was doing in ministry and needed a job, needed something to do, and he said, "You should call my buddy Davies." So that's when Seth and Dina Decker talked to me. We get them going. Then they bring in Adam and Cindy Burge, and Adam Burge is the number one guy in my whole hierarchy in personal production this year.
And then he's turned around and hired one of his best buddies, brother-in-law.
Yeah, Robert.
And you think Robert will be one of the top producers in the company within 6 months?
Oh, no doubt. It's the pattern. Robert's been super successful in the businesses he's had in the past, but he's not, and I'm not, I still also run ads because it's just extra lines in the water, but Robert's not going to answer a ZipRecruiter ad because he's already built businesses. He's looking for something to get in a big way. To me, it's funny. People go, well, I don't like the way that feels, like just trying to go through your network to find people. It's like, bro, how do you think it works at the carriers? When Mutual of Omaha needs a new high-level executive, they don't put an ad on, looking for high-level executive. No, the person who gets that job is someone that knows someone that knows someone. That's how the world works.
All right, this is terrible. Because here's what everybody says. I want to do something, there's no politics. When I get ready to hire somebody, I go, hey, Stephanie, Patrick, Pat, y'all know anybody? We're trying to hire a recruiter. Y'all know any accountants? We're trying to hire an accountant. I need a gardener, by the way. I need a full-time gardener for my house in Burlington and out in Caswell. I want an NC State agriculture graduate that's looking for a full-time job as a gardener. Flowers, the grass, the ponds, everything. I want full-time. You with me? So suggest somebody for me to hire. I'm going to run an ad if I have to, but I've already called Alan Taylor, and Alan Taylor. I've already called Alan Taylor. He runs the advancement at NC State, and I was like, hey, you know about the agriculture school? I need a gardener. So if you need a vice president to an insurance company, first thing you do is you start calling your buddies. Hey, you know anybody? Do they run an ad? Yes. Is it a pain in the butt? Yes. Do you sometimes hire people from an ad? Yes. Does sometimes the person you hired from an advertisement refer somebody? Yes. And then they get fired, quit, die, become a billionaire because they won a lottery, they leave, and then this person takes the job and they're better than the first person. That's just the way life works. That's not politics, it's people. People call around and found a job, or call around and get the people they want to come in business with them. And you can sort through the people in your mind better than if you run an advertisement. You run an advertisement, Adam's not going to answer an ad. He don't read those ads. You're not answering those ads. He told you about it, right? And then you already got started with another company, a friend told you about that. So a friend told you about that, and a friend told you about this. Ain't neither one of them an advertisement. Correct? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Jan, I'm selling it like crazy. So I'm selling text recruiting. All right, so here's the way it works. Unfortunately, we can't do it right now, but let's do this. I'm going to text you. I know your phone's off. Just give me your number.
704.
704, Charlotte number.
352.
352.
5686.
All right, I'll send you my Popple account so you know it's me.
Okay.
But then it works like this. Hey, Rob, I'm sitting here in Burlington with a new business opportunity with Keon Lassane also. Have you got a minute? Hey, Rob, I got a business opportunity I'd run by you. I think you would kill it, and I think there's a ton of money in it. Have you got a minute? So if you're watching this and you have friends that you have not talked to, I highly recommend you text them one of these texts something like it that you feel good. So, like, if we weren't on this deck, matter of fact, what's your schedule? How long are you gonna be around? You gotta leave.
Got some edits to do. I can stay here till about 2:30.
2:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for 30 minutes at 2:00, we might take a chance to get on here and try it towards the end, whether they shut down or not. But start texting people, and when you say, "Hey, I got one." So with Jalen, we put in 4 people in class in like an hour, and they were all jobs, sharp, young. They were who we were looking for. Versus, Jan, you've run advertisements. Like, how many out of 10, how many are what you're looking for? Is like age, education, background?
Lucky if it's 2 or 3. I mean, that's lucky.
I'd say 0 if it's 10 I talk to. I don't know. You know what I mean, Jan? Like, I mean, like, they're 25 years too old, but they fit every mold except for they're 25 years too old. Just 25 years too old. You know? Or they're 27, they ain't got a job, ain't got a car, on drugs, and got a little minor felony. And you're like, you'd be good at this. You know? This is the people that answer to advertisements.
Yeah.
Versus the people, if you text them and they say, hey, you're not going to text your friends that are in jail. Right? Facts. All right. Come stand right over here. Yes, and then Clay, you come up here. I know I got to tell you something about how we do the business, but I ain't too worried about it. Clay, tell them about the so why do you run a ZipRecruiter? Let's say you called every single person you know. I don't believe you have, but let's say you've buzzed everybody you know, you've texted everybody you know, and you get nothing. I'd run an ad. Now, if you're saying, well, I'm scared to call my friends, I don't want to talk to my friends, run an advertisement, okay? But I really wish, I keep going back to my son, everybody I know, then they start young, I go, hey, look, you need to text everybody you know, let's give it a shot. It don't work, we run ads. But as soon as somebody answered that advertisement, and I can get with them in person, maybe even over the phone, I'm text dialing. Because I know this, if this person don't do it, it's going to be the person they hire or the next person down. And if you got one person and it gets 2 people, now you got 3 chances of success. So you think about it, Shai, we went from you 2 weeks ago to, I think we got 12 opportunities. And you have reminded me of people that I was trying to recruit. Like JJ is supposed to be here at 2:00 today. I've been trying to recruit him for 3 months. But then you hired Jalen, who got Cameron. Well, Cameron has the job that JJ used to have. And I was like, wait a minute. If you got that job, I need to call JJ.
Have to YouTube at the end and keep the Zoom going and invite everyone to Zoom so you can do your live.
You have to invite them to Zoom.
Yeah.
You sure they shut us down?
It'll pull the video.
How can they? It'll pull it down? It'll pull the whole teaching down? Can I give YouTube the middle finger, or will they pull us down for that too? Yeah, send out a message to the link, and the people that can get on Zoom won't shut us down.
Stay right.
So send out that link. I don't know how to send out a link. Send it out if y'all can switch over. I'm going to start trying to do this anyway. I want to do a Zoom text dialing. The same way we do Zoom dialing and selling. What if we did a Zoom text dialing and get 7 or 8 people on there and they put in the comments or they raise their hand, I got one, everybody will stop. And then what you would do, Jan, as a matter of fact, if you got any, Jan, we could put them on your phone and I could talk to them. As a matter of fact, any of those people you got, Jan, that are going to meet me Tuesday, if you can get your phone and text them, say, hey, can you talk a minute? Because I know a lot of them are at jobs, but see if you can catch a couple of them.
Okay.
Tell them about the recruiting ads that we can do, the ZipRecruiter.
Mm-hmm. My name is Clay Murtis. I'm Director of Sales. I also run our President's Club. And President's Club is essentially a suite of benefits, different resources that you can use to accelerate and grow your business. And we've got opportunities and ways to acquire more cold market responders. So for those of you listening and hear that terminology, a cold market responder is somebody that responded to an advertisement. Warm market is somebody you know. So Twan is an example of a warm market responder. Now, we say the reason you want to go cold is so that way you can get back warm. It gives you the opportunity, like Davey said, to get a lot of pulls in the water because you can get a lot of responders on an advertisement. And then what you're doing is you're sifting faster. You're hoping to find a key on, because if you get a key on, then your goal is to get into their warm market. So it's speed up to slow down, but you're going to have to do a lot more sifting and filtering to get those people because, as Andy was saying, anybody can respond to an ad. Anybody. What we know about Keon's warm market is they are like Keon. Right? We know what your network looks like. We have no idea what a responder is going to look like, but we can give you predictable results. Similar to when you invest in leads, there's predictable results. If you invest in a ZipRecruiter ad, you'll get a predictable amount of responders, which you can then call to then hopefully find a gold nugget. So in President's Club, you've got access to ZipRecruiter. You can post an advertisement anywhere in the country. It's a sales advertisement, hiring individuals. $100 a month. Average response rate is going to be somewhere between 75 and 100 responders per month. So your cost per acquisition is about $1 per person. So you can post a ZipRecruiter ad. There's no limit. You can move them around. You can change the city from Raleigh to Charlotte to wherever else in that month period. You're paying for the slot. Now, if you don't like ZipRecruiter and you want to more target people, we've got a monster deal, which is like a resume feature, Andy. So you can go on there and you can search stuff like Series 6. So if you're trying to target people that can do estate planning, you can search Series 6, life insurance, Raleigh, North Carolina. And anyone with those search terms in their resume are going to show up, and that gives you the opportunity to target specific individuals. You can see their full resume, and then when you click their resume, like the view their contact information, that's when you get billed 60 cents. Okay, so 60 cents, and then you can set up a campaign, email marketing to them after that through Monster. And then the final way is we have a booked interview service. So we'll book interviews on your calendar. Those are licensed agents. Those are $15 per interview. Same concept. You're getting people on your calendar, and you're buying lotto tickets. Hopefully you get a winner. Hopefully you get a stud, and then get into their warm market. All through President's Club, got to be in President's Club, and that kind of gets you to get into the door.
Okay, so this message from John Beverly. So apparently they posted the what I'm texting. So they just took a screenshot of the. So if you guys will put those text messages back up, let them go back again. So John Beverly was smart enough to take a screenshot of it, and then he sent me this. He said, "This is fire. I just texted these messages to 10 people in my phone. 3 have already responded." Wow. So think about this. If I'm Andy Riddle, who hired John Beverly, and John Beverly has 3 of his market people to talk to versus 3 people that answered a random advertisement. So now if I'm you, Beverly, I'm going like, "Hey, Riddle, can you talk to this guy? He's fired up out of his mind." So, no matter who you are, you want to get your person to talk to somebody else. You talk to them, but get them to talk to somebody else. Now it's your credibility is double because there's 2 of you saying the exact same thing. Then if I can turn around, so like first Keon tells you, then I tell you, then I want Shy to tell you, then I want Clay to tell you, then I want AP to tell you, and now it's like, it must be true. Now, it still could not be true. We could all be in cahoots lying. Right?
Yes, sir.
That's the way it works. But your decision is the sincerity of Keon and how long you've known him. And then the sincerity of Shy and how long you've known him. Does that make sense? So, but if you're to answer an advertisement, there's no history with Keon. There's no history with me. Now, they come in, they meet a big variety of people, and they go, aha, it must be cool or must be legit. But it's not like if you bring in, you've got that long-standing history of what he's done for you in the past, and that builds credibility, and then I get that credibility. And then you come into the office and you meet, somebody that played ball at Elon, then it adds that credibility. Okay? So good job, John Beverly. Way to react. So hopefully some other people are taking advantage of this and start reacting. So what I would do next, and you're going to be doing it Tuesday, Jan, is get everybody you can together in person and then explain what they're trying to do. And it works like this. Everybody that's texting is sending these messages out. As soon as they get somebody interested, everybody stop, and then whoever's doing the recruiting, in this case it's me, I get online, I'm recruiting them, or y'all keep going, and as soon as another one you get, then it goes to Clay. So Clay takes that person over here, and he's recruiting for AP, and I'm recruiting for Keon. All right, y'all keep going, and then somebody else get one, then Patrick recruits them. So you want to get the more experienced recruiters on the phone with them to say the right thing to them to get them to the next step. Making sense? Dude, I'm telling you, this stuff works. I've been doing it for 30 some years now. What most people do is they get a person started and they say, well, I want to get him making money first. Or he says, I want to make money first to see if this is real. You know, and I'm sitting around looking around like, what part is not real? What's real is whether you can sell or not. What's real is whether you're a dial or not. What's going to be real is whether you got any skill or talent or not. I don't know. You might come to the table dumb. You might come to the table lazy. You might come to the table boring. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to do is quickly get to these next two people, because somebody you hire might be better than you. Well, I don't want nobody better than me. What? You're building a team. You want everybody better than you. You want everybody to be able to sell more, recruit more, drive more, work harder, invest more. The more people underneath, that'd be like Coach Dorn wants somebody can't run no faster than he can. He don't want to get shown up. You know, you always want more skilled and more talented on your team, and then you be the coach. You're the coach. Now, a lot of times these coaches can still play with you, right? For a while. And they're young, they can play with you. Sometimes they got that old man strength. You know, they're old. You're like, oh, damn, I didn't think he had any strength. And he don't look like it. Next thing you know, you're looking up. Well, it's the same thing here, is what kind of example are you going to set? But hopefully you get somebody that'll outwork you, that'll outsell you, that'll out-recruit you and outbuild you. So you get a franchise going here with 25, 35, 40 people. Then you get a franchise here going 35, 40 people. And then you get a franchise here going 35, 40 people. Next thing, you got 150 people divided over 3 different organizations, and money's coming in. Yeah?
Sir.
You getting it?
I'm loving it.
All right. So what you said you were coming up here to check us out. So what kind of questions you got? So here's the other thing. Like, I'm lighting people up, and then I go like, no pressure. You know, but what are you wondering about? Just a little bit. What kind of questions you got?
Okay. So the biggest question in my mind when I got off the phone yesterday was, I know this is very open, but why me?
Why you?
Yes, sir. I have 100% confidence in myself, my abilities, my God-given talents. But I was just thinking, like, why me? Like, you know, out of all people. And then, you know, talk me.
At NC State, we say, why not me?
True. Why not?
Why not us?
Absolutely. Why not us? But yeah, I was just thinking about that because it was just like a blessing, you know. Got on the phone with Keon, got on the phone with you. I had just made my July goals, and I actually marked off one of them. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like how everything just operated within a matter of a couple hours.
But let's ask Keon, why Twan? Why you call him?
Like you said, I actually know him, so that's why I approached him in that way. I was like, hey, bro, like, you can actually be good at this, because I know him and I follow his social media platform.
Yeah.
And I know that he got vision. So, like in this business, I feel like you got to have vision. Like, you got to be able to see the bigger picture. So, like, just me knowing his personality, he outgoing, and he can reach people because he got his own, like, little podcast. So, like, he can do that. I know that he can reach people because, like, he got a message. Like, I can show you the message. He got like a message thread he created. It sent like a daily message, like a daily reminder.
Oh, he's already got something he sends out.
Like a motivational message that he set up. He was telling me about it before he came in here. Like, he set it up as where it's like,
yes, sir.
You can like send motivational text to your phone or whatever, like on a daily basis. And I get those all the time. Like, man, I'll reach out to him. And I already know him. Like, we're good friends. Like, we go way back. So it's like, might as well do it.
Give it a shot. Absolutely. So then what happens is you keep it. So then what happens is you start this text. So, like, who have we got so far? Just give me the list that are interested for you that we've already got.
I have, well, here. I actually have a card.
I'm working here, James.
My first one, I have somebody that work in finance already. His name is Charles. He worked for
Charles?
Yeah, he worked for State Police Credit Union. So you're right.
Credit union. He got a job. Who else?
Yeah, another lady named Amia. She working at a nursing home. A former teammate, Josiah, kind of in the same predicament I am, trying to play ball still, but want to find income. The girl we spoke with yesterday, Jordan.
Jordan.
Her. And that's it for today.
So Jordan and Twan. So you've right now got 5. Mm-hmm. So what happens is, I always, this might not work for y'all, but I do a lot of country music training. I go tell you, all you gotta do is listen to country music, you'll learn a lot, okay? So like one of the songs says, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. So who's the best one on your whole team right now? Twan.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because he the one we're with. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like the other ones ain't here. Mm-hmm. We love him. Mm-hmm. That makes sense? Yeah,
that makes sense.
So if I ask somebody, I go, well, who's your favorite person on your team? And one of your team people's there, them. Mm-hmm. Now people go like, this guy Mark, he ain't here, but y'all come on in. He ain't here, and I go like, no, I don't love him. But this is the one I love because he's the one I can touch. He's the one I can get to do something. Yeah, I can get in a move. Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So so then what we got to do is, so trying to get the idea is, who are you thinking right now? Who are you thinking? And by the way, this is nationwide. If you have somebody in Dallas, Texas, that'd be fine because we're going to be there in 3 weeks. Okay. If you have somebody in Houston, I got somebody there right now that can talk to them. Okay. You got somebody in Minnesota, I got somebody ready to go. So of all the people who do you think would be the most aggressive? And a lot of times it's the person already making $200,000 or already making $130,000. It's not always the guy that's struggling. Okay, sometimes it's the guy that's successful, but you think he might be the best. Now, I don't know whether you do it. We're getting ready to find out. Ain't one way to find out. Shoot him a text. How about who's the next person? And who's the next person? So, off the cuff, who you thinking? Who would probably be? Give me a couple of names of some people that might be interested.
Okay, so when I came in here and heard everything right off rip, I thought about my friend named Marseille. He's an amazing guy. Like personality, just like me. Inez.
Marseille.
Yes, sir.
And then
Tanez. T-Y, N-E-Z.
Okay.
And then other than that, those are the only 2 I thought of because just right off rip what they're doing.
So let me give you another thought. Give me somebody that don't need this for sure. Like they're doing really good.
Marseille.
But they would, somebody else besides those 2 that's doing good probably won't do this, but they're doing really good. They're a dentist. They got a good job at the post office. They got a good job. They run in a warehouse. Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin. His name is Rick Metcalf. He owns an electric company.
So Rick owns like electricians.
Yes, sir.
That do work.
Yes.
How many employees he got? How big his office?
He probably have at least like 20. He's been in business for about 14 years now.
Okay. So in his 30s? Or maybe
early 40s, late 50s.
Early 40s, late 50s. But he owns early 40s, 50. So whatever. He's young. That's the way old people are when you're his age. 50, all of them, same numbers. 50, 60. All right. So Rick is awesome.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we text Rick, hey, I'm looking at getting in a business. I'd like some advice from you. See how that works? Mm-hmm. He's more likely, if you say, hey, Rick, I got a business opportunity you might be interested in, he's already doing good. Hey, Rick, I'm getting in a business with a guy in financial planning, and I want to get your advice, your opinion.
Okay.
See the tricky on that? So he says, sure, anytime you want. I go get him on the phone. And you go, hey, here's the guy I'm working with. So then what I do is I get on the line with Rick and I go, hey, Rick, nice to meet you. Man, I love this kid, Twan. How do you know him? He's my godson. He's my nephew. And I think the world, and I go, like, he's got a lot of energy and marketing. I understand you have a very successful electronics business. You have people out working, how many staff? You got 20, congratulations. Well, let me tell you what we do, Rick. We work with small business owners and show them how to replace a 401k because you don't have that as self-employment. And then what is it that self-employers use that they put that money in?
SEP.
Huh?
SEP.
A SEP. So we got something better than a SEP. What's a SEP stand for, Davies?
Self-employment plan. I know it's a SEP.
You're a genius. You're a genius insurance agent. So what we do is we show you alternatives to that. We also help with estate planning. And so what I'm going to do, Rick, is I'm going to teach Twan how to do this. We also do final expense, term, mortgage protection, anything to do with finances, retirement accounts, 401k, stock market. We do it. So I'm going to teach Twan to do this. And he was thinking that you might be interested in some of the products, or you might be interested in doing something outside of your electronics business. Here's what he says. Hell no, I hate that youngin'. I don't trust him as far as I throw him. I ain't interested in doing nothing. I don't want to make no money. This is crazy. Why don't ever call me again? He's not going to say that. Not if I say that to him. But he's going to say, yeah, I think Twan will be really good at it. And I go, well, you have any interest? No, I'm not interested. I said, well, let me ask you this. Once he gets his license, do you mind showing him your retirement strategies just so he can see somebody that's smart? You see what I'm saying? So now what happens is you get to go look at all his setup and we evaluate and tell him he's doing great. Or he goes, it's crazy that you bring this up because I've been looking at how I can set up a retirement for some of my employees and I don't know how to do that. Do y'all do that? Absolutely. That's what we specialize in. See how this works, Jan? But I'm setting him at ease. Normally, I'd already been working on it, but I'm trying to, not do it. What do we got? I'm trying not to get shut down from YouTube. So y'all, anybody that's on YouTube, you switch over to Zoom, we're going to do some of these live. Okay, so we got Rick, we got Tanez, and we got, all right, who's next? Give me somebody else.
Thomas Carroll.
Okay, Thomas. So we call Thomas, same thing. What does Thomas do?
He's a strength and conditioning coach. Strength
and conditioning. What university?
Central.
At North Carolina Central.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first thing we do is we call him, hey, I'm friends with Thunder over at NC State, and I met some of the Wolfpack guys, and I how about Jalen? Do you know Jalen? What's Jalen's last name? Jalen, the guy. Huh? Yep. You know Jalen Davis?
Yep.
So he was here day before yesterday.
Okay.
And I think we put like 4 people in class for him, didn't we? So you talk about Jalen, and now one thing you should say is like, you got Jalen. Wait a minute. Well, we're going to get some more people,
Yeah.
So then you create this competition, Jan, because either Jalen's going to get them or you're going to get them. Does that make you think of anybody else now that we mentioned Jalen? Other football players. Shaw. Davis Richard?
Yeah. He was the QB1 at Central last year.
Davis. Okay, so what I've got him doing, Jan, is brainstorming. Now, keep in mind, in the last 2 days we've been doing this. So we got 4 people under Keon, 4 people under Jalen, and now we got Twan in here. So one of the things we want to do is get back on the phone with the ones that we put in class the last 2 days. And then ask them, who have you been talking to? So Twan, we talked to yesterday, he comes in, he said, you still maintain, you hadn't talked to mama, daddy, cousin, nobody.
Nope.
You just kept it quiet. You get secret. Talk to myself and Jesus.
Literally.
No, because you did ask somebody, or no, you said your mama always told you to keep your mind open.
Yep. Just be wise.
Be wise. Yeah. Oh, so you can say no.
Absolutely.
You can say no once you find out what's going on. And those are the kind of arguments you want to use with people. Like, at least you ought to hear about it. Okay. All right.
I do have one calling me back. Troy.
Oh, you got one right now?
Yeah. Hey, Troy, give me a sec.
I'll see.
Are you there?
Shuts down. Be quiet. You can get us shut down. We'll lose our license. Jan, you got to get off. You got to mute. Got me scared. You know Terry Edwards?
No, sir.
You sure? Should he know you? He used to come in and work at the credit. No, he might have worked at the credit union. Terry and Tia Edwards. Here's what he said. He said, I used to work at he's just saying he used to work at the credit union and you're sharp. That's what he's saying. All right. Appreciate it, he says. All right. Okay. So, I was like, if I call people that we've already talked to, they shouldn't shut us down for that. They just shut you down for talking on the phone while you're on YouTube. This government oversight is driving me crazy. I don't know about y'all. This granddaddy looking over your shoulder about everything you do, it's getting on my dadgum nerves.
The only way to do it properly is to get permission from the person.
Permissions. Oh, so we text them, say we got permission. Huh? Yeah, make it make sense. All right. Jan, is she talking on the phone with him? You just keep recruiting your guy. My goal is 10x our recruiting today. I want everybody to lose their mind over recruiting today, how easy it is. When you text 25 or 30 people and 2 of them say yes. And by the way, if they don't respond, that just means you text them again later. If they say no, I don't want to talk business, say okay. Now you know. You're dealing with somebody who's, don't have an open mind. Just let that be a lesson to you. You deal with them in anything else. Okay? All right, Jan, you back?
Yeah.
What'd you tell him? I'll call you back later?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in the car. I couldn't hear him real well anyway.
Okay. So comments, different thoughts, feedback on what I'm telling you.
I think it's just definitely different from what I've been doing. And, just getting them when they're excited and just doing it. Just going after it.
What's different than what you've been doing?
Probably it's just more straightforward. Being a little bolder and doing it right then instead of getting back. Do it while they're really excited.
Okay. Anything else that stands out?
Well, I've been doing mostly like license lists, that kind of thing, but I do have a couple of warm market in depth this afternoon. So I haven't been doing it quite the same way. I'm not getting the same results.
Is it just the aggressiveness or is it sending the text out? What is different?
Both. It's both.
All right. What say ye, Mr. Davies? Pile on. Tell me. Give us some more teaching, comments, some observations.
I love what you talked about with the people that say, well, I need to make sure this worked for me first. You get that from ad responders. You don't get that from people that have been successful. People that have been successful, all they're concerned about is proof of concept. So like Adam Burge's brother-in-law never would have answered an ad. He's been very successful at everything he's done. He didn't have a license yet. And he didn't have a license yet. He's already all in on estate planning because he just sees proof of concept. So the more of this recruiting we do, the faster we can move. Because you're not dealing with cynical people that have failed at a bunch of stuff. You're finding people that we wouldn't have found otherwise that have been successful at other things. And then the other thing too, when people say I've run, well, first of all, people say I don't really know anybody. I always get a little concerned because when every time they catch a serial killer, the neighbors always say, right? He was always a bit of a loner. I'm not saying if you won't text recruit that you're a serial killer. I'm just saying it is, however, a commonality. So
you do have a commonality with serial killers.
But think weak connections. People you ain't seen in 10 years. People you ain't seen in 5 years. People that know you but don't know you well. There's some of my buddies that, I may never recruit because they remember, flipping golf carts and stuff like that. But people that hadn't seen me in 10 years, for all they know, I've made all the right moves and all the right decisions, you know. The other pushback I get on that sometimes is, well, I don't know if they'll remember me. Guess what they're going to do if they don't remember you? They're going to pretend to remember you. That's what we all do. Just like when someone comes up to you and goes, "Hey, Stephen, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on, brother? How are you doing?" But that's what they're going to do. They're going to pretend to know you until they know you. So, don't feel like there's only 5 or 6 people I always love it. Diane Lamp would say, "You've got $1 million in your phone. You just got to mind it. It's there." Connections, people that you know, people that they know, and people that they know, people that you don't know well, people you haven't seen in a while. I mean, there's so much there to be had.
Okay. All right. I got 15 minutes. So if y'all switch over to Zoom, you'll be able to see me doing these lives. If you're on YouTube, we're getting ready to cut the YouTube feed so that we can make a couple of live calls and go from there. So Clay, you're back over there. Keon, if you join me right here. And what's your name, sir? Stephen? Andy. Nice to meet you. Who invited you over here, Stephen? Debbie? Stephen and what is it?
Zahara.
Zahara? Oh, Stephen and Zahara. Stephen, is it V-E-N or T-H? Stephen, S-T-E-V-E-N. And Zahara, how you spell Zahara?
Z-A-H.
All right, I was close. I had Z.
Class this morning and got him from Brady's girl.
Hold on. The mic. Here you go. Yeah, tell them cut the YouTube. Cut the YouTube and switch them over. All right, tell them, Debbie.
We got him in class this morning.